Psalm 23 and trust in God. Imagine yourself walking through a dark valley, surrounded by uncertainty. Now, visualize a light shining before you, guiding each step. This light is the promise of Psalm 23. When we read, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," we find a powerful invitation to trust in God's provision even in times of adversity. This trust reminds us that we are not alone. God leads us as a loving shepherd, providing not only what we need physically, but also emotional and spiritual security. This psalm is more than words, it is a daily reminder that gratitude transforms our perception of struggles. How about starting each day by giving thanks for the simple fact that, regardless of the circumstances, we have a shepherd who cares for us? The power of gratitude in times of scarcity. Have you ever stopped to think about how gratitude can change the way we see our difficulties? When Psalm 23 declares that we shall not want, it does not mean that we will have everything we desire, but rather everything we need. In times of scarcity, gratitude helps us focus on what we already have, rather than lamenting what we lack. Think about the small daily blessings: the air we breathe, the bread on the table, the company of people we love. Practicing gratitude is an act of faith that reminds us of God's constant provision. Why not list 3 things for which you are grateful right now? This simple act can renew your spirit. Paths of righteousness and gratitude. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. This phrase from the psalm reminds us that the right path is not always the easiest, but it is always the most rewarding. Gratitude is not just an emotional response, it is also a decision to recognize the blessings on our journey. When we choose to be grateful, even in the face of challenges, we strengthen our faith and open our eyes to see God's hand guiding our lives. Think about the times when something difficult ended up leading you to a better place. This is God's justice in action, transforming difficulties into growth. How about starting to see challenges as opportunities to practice gratitude? The overflowing cup of gratitude. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Here, Psalm 23 teaches us that God doesn't just give us enough, He blesses us abundantly. When we practice gratitude, we realize that our cup overflows with blessings. This overflow is not just material, but emotional and spiritual. Think about the impact your gratitude can have on the people around you. When we are grateful, we spread hope and inspiration. Gratitude connects us with others and makes us more aware of God's love in our lives. When you last expressed your gratitude to someone? Maybe today is the perfect day to do so. Gratitude as a healing tool. Even when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, Psalm 23 assures us that God is with us. Gratitude has the power to heal broken hearts and restore hope. Studies show that people who practice gratitude regularly experience less stress and greater well-being. But beyond its scientific benefits, gratitude is a spiritual response to God's presence in our lives. When we give thanks, we declare that we trust Him, even when everything seems to be falling apart. Take a moment now to reflect on something difficult you've faced and be thankful for the strength God has given you to overcome it. Goodness and mercy every day. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. These words are a promise that we will never be forsaken. Gratitude helps us see God's goodness in the details that often go unnoticed. From the sunrise to a kind word, God's mercy is everywhere. When we cultivate a grateful heart, we realize that we don't need to wait for great miracles to feel God's love. It manifests itself in the little things. How about, right now, taking a moment and being thankful for 3 simple things that brighten your day? A bright future for those who trust in the Shepherd. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This is a promise of an eternal future, but it is also a guarantee that God takes care of our present. Gratitude is a way of saying, I trust in you, Lord. It connects us with the peace that comes from knowing that God has plans to prosper us and not to harm us. When we face uncertainty, gratitude anchors us in the certainty of God's love. Do an exercise right now. Think about the future with hope and be thankful for what you haven't even received yet, trusting that the best is yet to come. The decision to live with gratitude. Ultimately, living with gratitude is a choice. Psalm 23 teaches us that with God as our shepherd, we will always have reason to be thankful. This practice transforms our perspective, helps us overcome difficulties, and brings us closer to God. Imagine the impact of a life marked by gratitude, deeper relationships, less anxiety, and a heart filled with peace. Today, you are invited to adopt gratitude as a lifestyle. Start right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say, "Thank you, Lord, for being my shepherd." This simple phrase can transform your day and your life.